Especially if you've been anxious about it or seen something that you've been interested in a while, or you thought it would be cool to make content on the internet, I definitely think that you should start a YouTube channel. And you don't have to be like me. You don't have to show your face on camera. You don't have to talk about a lot about your personal life. You don't have to do anything specific. Like, you can just create videos and content about whatever you like. And that's the great thing about YouTube, is that there's going to be other people that are interested in the same things as you. And I mean, I've been doing this for 2 years and I don't have a huge audience. I've been sitting at about 270 subscribers, and it's been around that for like a year or so. And I originally got into YouTube because I wanted to make money from it, because I wasn't happy working jobs and I had always wanted to make a YouTube channel, and I had it as a kid, but I felt so judged and so insecure about myself in certain ways that kept me back from like creating videos and wanting to consistently upload. And I tried it a few times, over the years, and I just kept deleting the channels. There was even like one point where I deleted this channel, I think it was sometime last year, and my friend actually talked me into doing it again, because he was like, oh, I actually kind of like your like practical philosophy videos. I think your videos are kind of good. You should at least like put them back up. Maybe there's a couple of videos that were a bit questionable, but overall your channel was pretty good. So I think you should keep those videos up. And that point just made me think like, oh, like this is something that I enjoy. And even though I didn't reach the goal that I wanted of starting to earn an income from this and gaining a bigger audience, it's had such great benefits in my life, which is why I wanted to do this video. I think in our current age, with a lot of social media stuff and that, it's hard to really connect with people. It's hard to find people that you like. And so sometimes in social situations, well, lots of times in social situations, we are putting on masks. We are acting certain ways to get along with people, which is perfectly fine and natural. Like, that's what we do as humans, to kind of connect and get to know each other. We feel safer when we're not fully ourselves, because when we're ourselves, we're open and exposed and more likely to be hurt if we don't get connected to other people. Especially if you're someone that's a bit more sensitive and introverted to me, like you don't spend as much time socializing around people and you prefer to be alone. I think that YouTube is such a great way to just turn on the camera and start talking about whatever topics interested you. Like, I was interested in philosophy, I was interested in soccer, I was interested in working out, I was interested in painting for a while, I was interested in music. And there's this kind of urge, like, oh, I want to separate this. I want to have like a painting channel, a creative channel. I want to have like another channel for soccer and all that. But all of those things connect to me and relate to me as a person. Like, that whole brand can fit under me. You don't have to niche down into one specific thing. And I'll be honest, because of that, I think I've lost quite a few viewers, because some people really like my philosophy, but they don't really care about soccer, or they've like watched my painting videos and like that creative process kind of thing, and me just talking and freestyling painting. That was 2 years ago. But they may not really like the psychology kind of stuff that I talk about. Or some people see like my videos where I talk about my struggles, like just with my own thoughts in my own head, and I guess you can kind of call it depression and will to live, or meaning, or just trying to find your place in the world. And some people really get turned off by that, I think, because there's also my like psychology side that wants to be productive in that. But all of these aspects are part of me, and they're part of what makes me human. They're part of what makes us all human. And I honestly believe that just being honest and talking about yourself has a great impact on your life, because then from making these videos, I become more aware of my thoughts, aware of what I'm doing in the world, aware of how I'm acting, and what feels right and what doesn't feel right. And I also kind of get these reflections from like talking about stuff. You like you think about things deeper, and you think about things in different ways, and then you look back and you kind of like, those things that they said, they didn't quite feel right, and then you kind of adjust that along the way. Like, my whole channel has just been this process of me working out things, trying out things, seeing if they're working, exploring them, and then, just constantly working on this. Like, it's a natural life process. It isn't a set, determined kind of way. It's more natural, I guess, in some ways. But also, I think it's a really great way to be consistent. Like when I was doing drawing and I was uploading that to Instagram, I was really off Instagram, I was really off YouTube, because as a consumer, you think, oh, these things aren't really like I'm spending too much time on YouTube, I'm spending too much time on Instagram, I want to be more productive and that kind of thing, and I want to cut this out of my life. There's this real narrative in self-improvement where you cut off all these social media and you just go, back to using notebooks and like cutting out technology. I forget what it's called, like a digital detox kind of thing, like just getting off social media. And I think that's good, but if social media is here, why not use it? Why not utilize it to your best? And I've found that the more that I create stuff, the less that I consume. Like when I used to have Instagram and I was just kind of using it casually when I was in high school, so this would have been, oh my God, like 6 years ago. I probably started Instagram maybe 7 years ago, and I had it for a couple of years, but I just found that I was just scrolling on it. I was just getting really anxious about it because I was seeing other people and what they were doing, and it made me feel really insecure in myself. And so I felt like I needed to cut off from that because it wasn't adding much value to my life, and I wanted to work on more things in my life. Whereas now I still like sometimes scroll on Instagram, but it's not like compulsive. It's not like a thing that I have to do like all the time. It's like I do it and I'm like, that's enough. I'm going to put it away, because I want to create stuff, and that's like my main focus, my main goal, and that's what I find most fulfilling. Anyway, so what I was saying with the drawing stuff is that with social media, you can use it as an accountability tool if there's something that you want to do. And as I said, you don't have to show your face. Like I just started this Instagram as just me documenting my drawing process because I wanted to do something more consistently, and I wanted to document kind of the process of me learning to draw this kind of stuff. And I found that I was more productive when I did that because I had this accountability. At the end of the day, I would show my daily shots. And I was drawing most days before that, but then with the Instagram, it kind of gave me more of a structure, even if it was like 5-10 minutes, I was like, all right, I haven't done a drawing today, so can I do a quick sketch? Can I do a quick Loomis head before, so then I have something to post, because I kind of felt like I had to do a post in a good way, like that was adding a benefit to my life. That was adding a conscious pressure to my life to work on something that I wanted to work on. And that's how it can be a benefit in a certain way. And honestly, I just think that, with speaking to the camera, the way that I do it, which is more natural, I used to try doing script stuff. I used to try having notes. I used to try having a whole script through it and try and follow it. You can see some of my older videos where I had like a notebook and I had notes and I'd go through those kind of things. And that was nice. I wanted to have a better structured video. I wanted to make my points better. But in real life, when you're having real social situations, when you're in real social situations and you're having to talk to people, you're not going to have a script. Maybe you have like certain things that you want to say across or whatever, certain things you want to ask. But when you're having a natural conversation with someone, you have to think of the words on the fly. And that's where I've found YouTube to be quite good, because I'm better at able to express my ideas across, because I've been working on this for a while, because I've been saying and talking to the camera for so much and like trying to express myself and my ideas in a concise and proper manner. So that's been another benefit of doing YouTube, and something that I recommend doing if you feel like you don't get your words across right and you don't express yourself very well in social situations. And a part of that is, having someone that's a good listener, someone that is interested in things that you want to say. But also, just getting yourself across there is another important thing to work on. And working on expressing yourself and talking in a fluid, natural manner is also another positive point. And also, the last point that I want to make is that when you do these videos, you know, it's literally just for you, really. Like, it doesn't have to be for other people. And you're the one that's talking, you're the one that's creating, so it means something to you, and that's why you should create it. Like, even in this AI world where, you know, so many AI AI slop stuff is like around, and it's like getting a lot more attention, and there's people that are like creating content that is very controversial or very very out there, and it's like drawing a lot more attention than these kind of basic down to earth YouTube videos. I think the main thing is just creating because you want to, because it's something that you want to do. And I think over time people will gravitate towards that because they're like, oh, this person's been doing something for a long time. They've been kind of honest to themselves. They've tried to do their best. They've tried to stick to themselves, their values. You know, and these little things that you see as weaknesses, like me trying to do it natural and saying you know, like all these little things, and like not getting my words across quite in the right way, people will see that and then they'll go, oh, like this makes him more relatable, or this makes it more real. You know, that can be a benefit in the future. And also, as I said, these are just for you. So you can say whatever you want. You can talk about whatever you want. You can talk about any experiences that you want. And at the start, there's a lot of anxiety. There's a lot of pressure to starting a YouTube channel, to getting yourself out there. There's so much like anxiety at the start. But once you kind of get into the habit of it and you do it more and more, and you find a safe space where you can do it, and you find the right times where you can do it, it becomes more and more natural and easy, and you start wanting to open yourself up and talk about more honest things and more interesting topics. Like at the start, you may like have this idea where you really want to talk about this topic, but you're like, oh, that feels too personal to me. Like for me, it took me a while to talk about like my wasted potential video, and that's one of my biggest videos because it was me being raw and honest. And I didn't want to talk about that video because, you know, that made me feel like a loser. It made me feel like I'd wasted so much time, and I didn't want to talk about that because I was like, how is that productive? How is that going to help people? What benefit is that going to have? And it turns out that it benefited a lot of people, and it drew in most of my subscribers, and a lot of them have stayed, which has been great. But another one was the binge eating one, which I really didn't want to talk about, but then that also had quite a good following, quite a good response from the audience. And you know, it is nice to have people recognize you and recognize your videos and comment on your videos. Like that is a nice thing. But you know, I've been doing this for 2 years and I haven't had a whole lot of attention, to be honest. Like, I mean, even like the 6, 7, 8 people that have been consistently watching, or that watch my videos each week, even the really terrible ones, that's still like a lot of people when you think about it. Like 6, 7 people, like that's still a lot. But since we have this comparison with social media where there's millions of followers, people are earning millions of dollars, they're doing all these great things, we think that that's terrible. But if you were to see those 6 people in person and you say, you guys don't mean as much because there's not 100,000 of you, how would those people feel? Would you actually say that to those people? And I think the answer would actually be no, because if you actually met those people, I feel like you'd probably get along quite well. Like I'm very grateful for those people. Like of course I want more, but if I say that I'm so intent on getting more and I don't care if I have more, I only care if I have more followers, then that's to say all these people, these few people that show up, you know, that really degrades their value. And it's like, what makes some person have more value than another? Like, why are we putting a number on this? Which I think is a bad thing about social media, but it is what it is. But yeah, I would really say like getting out there and just starting to record videos, even if you don't put your voice on there, you just like record some random thing that you're doing and just get it out there. Like whether it's a short, whether it's just your drawing or your music or whatever it is you're interested in, your sport, whatever, just reading, even if you like read an excerpt from your favorite book or your favorite quotes and you turn that into a short. That's an idea that I want to do because I love reading and there's so many good books and I just think that they're amazing. And you know, I would love to one day turn my favorite author into a series, into movies. And yeah, I guess it'd be a cool idea to like turn that into like shorts of me acting through the scenes or whatever. I think that might, I'm not sure if my audience would like that, but that's something that I'm interested in, and hopefully that could start something towards acting, or maybe not. Like YouTube is just like this portfolio for your own life, and people can like kind of see and get to know you as a person. But I think the most important thing is staying true to yourself and doing what you believe in and what you think. Because a lot of the times we feel this social pressure to act a certain way, to be certain people, and it's, you know, that really gets in the way of us living our lives and us being happy. You know, for so long I was working jobs that I hated because I felt obliged to, because I felt like I had to, you know, because it was offered to me and other people needed me in that situation. But it took me breaking my wrist to realize like I want to spend the time doing what I love, and I don't want to be caught in the same situation, keep making the same mistakes, you know, and I love creating these kind of things, and I want to have more freedom to be able to do this. So that's a process that I'm working on, and I'll have more videos in the future about about decisions I'm going to make to fund that, and also how I'm having a long-term kind of plan to kind of turn my life more into where I don't have to work for other people, where I can work for myself. That's some of the things that I'm working on. But yeah, as I was saying about the social kind of masks, when you're on the channel, you can do whatever you want, you can make whatever you want, you can say whatever you want, and I think that's been such a great benefit to me because, you know, as someone that's been introverted and hasn't had a lot of confidence, just getting out and doing these videos and, you know, putting myself out there and going through the anxiety and keeping doing it anyway. Like, as I said, I had deleted my channel because I thought that it was just terrible. I thought that I was terrible. I thought that I was way too anxious. I didn't have any confidence in myself. And, you know, I've stuck to it. It's stuck throughout the years, and I think it's stuck because as I evolve, I make my YouTube channel evolve. Like, I just record whatever is true in my current situation. And that's what I recommend you doing, because, you know, maybe you probably have great ideas, you probably have great thoughts, you probably have better ideas that you need to express out and more things to learn. And why not document this on a YouTube channel? Why not document your experience? Like, what's the downside to this? Like, what's the downside to being honest and recording stuff and talking about your life and documenting your process of life? Like, I don't see much of a downside. Like, there's the worry and the anxiety, and then there's like, oh, but do I need a proper camera? Like, I've been filming this on my terrible phone for like the past 2.5 years, and I've like invested in proper microphones, but I haven't made any money from this. I've made $0 from this, and I've invested so much time, so much money, just because it's been something that has made my life better. And so I really recommend that you at least consider starting a YouTube channel, doing some sort of creative pursuit online and documenting that experience. So thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.